What's the hurry?
Just relax. Even if everyone else suspects Lenny and Lynette, at least we will be supporting them from the stands. Besides, I doubt Farina understands.
Thanks, Navia.
Best of luck to you.
Ah, finally, you're back. Well, how...
To be honest?
No. Well, now, don't you all look disappointed? That was to be expected, but don't let that stop you. I shall be terribly...
Since both parties, firstly, in...
Yes, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Linney. You ran to and remained hidden within the magic box in the audience stands.
Yes, that's correct.
In that case,
Why, of course I do. Allow me to take the first shot and break this case wide open. Mr. Linney is clearly... There is no way you could have been in the box the whole time if you were to abduct...
That is simply your hypothesis based on the
Oh, is that so? And if I may...
The roaring countdown of the crowd.
And you didn't hear...
No.
I see.
Huh?
Hey!
Yeah, I'm sure he...
I was right by the...
Look at those scales.
Of course, I have armed myself to do far more than smash your alibi. Confidence cannot go unfounded, and my... Tell me.
The House of the Hearth?
No wonder they did something.
So the cereal disappeared. I've got a feeling that...
That's irrelevant. Our identity...
Indeed. Then perhaps your first priority is to... The Outlander is speechless. My, oh my, don't they look flabbergasted? Now comes the... good thing I made all those preparations. Seems the all-nighter I...
Hey, Linny!
Order! Order! Mr. Linney, allow me to re-establish the facts. Lady Farina, first, when the thud was heard in the Opera House, you were neither in the box nor the tunnel. Are these claims true? Please answer my...
I'm sorry. Yes, they're true.
I knew it!
Well, that's it. We might have...
What should we do now?
Granted. In that case, what is your request?
Is that really necessary?
The defendant deceived...
Order! Your request is reasonable.
So you, in that case...
Well, this is awkward. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Paimon doesn't know where to start. We based our entire reasoning on not to set the wrong tone.
I know you've clashed with, but our organization...
Right now, we want to see...
That's right. I knew if it weren't for our... That's why I didn't wish to... The truth is very important, but being completely... Right. You met a Fatus who were... But still,
Sorry. Well, you both say that, but... Right. Let's hear...
Of course. We've been trying to find out. During our investigations, we learned that the machine's core is beneath it. From that moment on, Lynette and I have been designing this box swap trick, with the objective of getting close to the...
Is that why you needed a whole minute?
That's right. In truth, the audience would take about 75. So, after jumping into the tunnel, I accessed the Opera House big...
That air vent was created during the...
Well, nothing... Which should have been impossible. That voice seemed to recognize. On the way back, After that...
Well, that explains why you didn't hear the
Because of that
That's the only way we can...
So, there. It was never my wish, but like I said,
Well, Traveler, you decide. Paimon will follow your lead however you choose.
okay.
Thanks for giving us a...
The current problem is that if we want to refute the Hydro Arc, huh?
Both parties have returned. When last we left off, Mr. Linney acknowledged the new evidence presented by Lady Farina as fact. Therefore, Lady Farina may...
At this stage, let's revisit that scene from Linny's perspective. As the countdown began, when the flatbed trolley, he did not realize that the sound could be Finally, he used the at this time. So Linny proceeded afterward. Linny... And there you have it. That's the truth behind what happened.
Does the defendant's side have any
The key to refuting Lady...
Seems this won't produce a part... According to Linny, he left via the vent after... Linny went to the room. Linny did not
Attention! Ace detected when the countdown started, but he immediately used once he reached the crime scene. Finally, he Paimon did it!
In other words, you believe...
That's right!
My reasoning?
If that's the case, then assuming that what you say is...
Oh, they have a...
That's... Well, your denial is very strident. I'll give you that. Of course I do. If you're saying that he wasn't...
Are you sure we don't need to give this more thought? That's right! This means the same clue!
To think you'd use such well then, if it wasn't Linny who committed the crimes, then who was it?
Halsey is the missing person and an ordinary audience member. Could there have been a third The deceased's name is...
Huh? That can't be...
Oh!
What I must do next is recreate the truth. What Cowell did, and how he went from wood... No one entered or left the Opera House through its entrances. So where would the criminal have wanted to take Halsey? The deceased's name is... Halsey's clothing was in... The sound we heard may have come... It would have been tough for both... The sound we heard may have come... No one entered or... The deceased's name is... Halsey's clothing was in... It would have been tough for both... Linny was not in the tunnel. The deceased's name is... Linny was not in the tunnel. Halsey's clothing was in the... Linny was not in the tunnel. The deceased's name is... It would have been tough for both people to... No one entered or...
What's wrong, Traveler? Are you still having trouble?
Look, since we're at a dead end, why not consider a different track? Just like the trick as it transpired, the end result must have been utterly different from the magician's initial design.
If only we knew how Halsey disappeared.
Well, that would be nice, but the tunnel only has 3 exits, and none of them seem very likely. And it's not like this is a magic trick where you can just make a real live person disappear. You know, like you did from that water tank, Lynette.
If the defense is unable to make further effective arguments, we will move on to the next stage of the trial.
Linny was not in the tunnel at that moment. The sound we heard may have come from a... The deceased's name... The vase was not broken by chance.
Paimon gets it! Lynette escaped from the... If there's a...
How could a person ever be transformed into water? Magic tricks are...
Even so, the truth must be out there somewhere. Perhaps some new line of since Cal was the deceased, but given that we aren't
People really do come up with all sorts of harebrained schemes when at...
Nevertheless, I believe that this is a reasonable request on the part of an attorney. Since the trial does indeed appear to be at an impasse, guards,
We are still examining the items, but we have already made critical progress. We discovered several test tubes of fluid with the notebook in his back. The primordials. The note's contents also indicate that Cowell belonged to an organization that sells illegal drugs and that he had... The notebook has many entries concerning safe usage of these fluids. In one of these tubes was labeled Opera Epiclet. The notes also state that these As such, we believe that the...
You gotta be kidding! People dissolving into water?
Could something so ridiculous actually be true?
Wait a moment. This reminds me of a certain prophecy.
Huh. If people can become water, does that mean that... Wait just a minute. Could that mean...
You two, with...
Mademoiselle, wait! What about your
Let's go. Just trust me.
Order! Still. Guards. Please, Mr. Linney.
Of course. If we uphold this
Right! Like the metal hook! Let's think about this. Cowell's methods must have something to do with that.
The water from the primordial sea. Now it seems like the hook rope. The rope that held the water tank up was lit by the... Lynette was in the magic box on stage I remember there was something else with it. The deceased's name is Lynette was in the magic... The water from the primordial...
In the original plan, when the magic box containing Halsey was lowered, the metal hook would retract gradually and pierce the balloon at the top of the box. When the balloon attached to the box popped, afterward, but...
Huh.
That actually...
Oh dear, what do I do? Even I think they sound convincing now. Have I falsely accused an innocent person?
Now, it seems like the only point of contention remaining is his notes mentioned he had an accomplice who...
On that note, the guards have just... I shall now invite him on stage.
Thank you, Your Honor. We were just inspecting the luggage of the other people, and we found an identical sample of the water from the...
What?
That can't be.
Oh, I see. Well, how wonderfully does this not, my dear... Linny did not need to take part in having made modifications, but upon his... Ultimately, he not now. As much as I regret having come to such a viciously straightforward... Am I right, Mr. Linny?
We've used up all the evidence we... Is this the end of the...
Oh no. Seems...
I think we've all... I believe this is indeed... Now then, my good... excuse me, everyone.
Miss, I must...
Oh, come on. Don't be... I'll show you an amazing... What in...
No offense, miss.
Come on now, don't be... But once everyone believes the illusion, can't magic reveal the truth to them once again? And wouldn't such a trick be the most... Come on, Linny and But as the magic makers and stars of...
I understand.
And voila. Sorry for the interruption.
Wait, isn't that Halsey? So the whole thing about people dissolving wasn't true after all?
To be clear, I'm only here because this person told me that if I testified, the merit of doing so would lessen my sentence. I was hiding outside this room listening to the proceedings because I was just feeling happy that no one had noticed me.
That'll teach you to underestimate us three.
Where should I begin? I'm sorry. I'm the one who killed Cowell. I admit it.
What?
Firstly, my name isn't Halsey. It's Lily. I heard that Linny's show was gonna be a real... That's how I make a living. But I was noticed at...
Hey, no wonder you look familiar. So Liddy even mentioned that you were pretty skilled.
Well, and I thought that would have been the end of it, but then the number selector chose me. He even mentioned the Fortress of Meripede. So I played along with the I wasn't going to There was no... I slipped out after...
Can a person even hide in there?
But I swear, I didn't. Had I known that...
Well, that makes everything pretty clear now.
This time, We need to tell... The strange sound. The flower vase. Lillian was a...
And it's Ace Detective Paimon time! Having been selected out of her panic only intensive hearing the commotion, he did not know that mistakenly believing the two broke the with no way of escape. That
she had already become desperately hungry by the time we were chatting.
At this point, all the events...
so bravo!
Now then, Lady Farina, do you wish to speak again? Please answer the question, Lady Farina. Also, if I may add, the trial has not yet ended. As such, I request that the prosecution not leave the room before the proceedings have concluded.
What? Are you reading my mind now? No, I have no further arguments. I admit defeat. But really, could you at least have left me with some dignity?
Wow, look at that!
If there are no objections, then as the Chief Justice of Fontaine, I shall once again repeat the full sequence of events. The actual perpetrator of the serial disappearances, Cowell, selected with some modifications to the selector, he could ensure that the pre-select to cover up any evidence while committing the deed. Cowell thought of allowing the water tank to fall, which would conceal the water left behind after the young... He also tampered with the rope suspending the water tank. Using the fireworks at the end of the... He poured the water from the Finally, he passed the prepared hook on a rope through the gap in the magic box's door when When the magic trick officially began, the box containing the woman was lowered into the tunnel, tightening the hook rope and bursting. If all had gone to plan, the young woman would be dissolved at this time. However, realizing that there was trouble, Cowell entered the tunnel and however, his opponent was more capable than he thought, and he was overcome, knocked unconscious. Lillian, according to her own statements, then... As for Linny, from this reconstruction... While there is much in Linny and Lillian's conduct that should still be investigated separately, this case, at least, can be... As such,
Great work. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Next, how did you find the water?
Right! Your discovery caused me to make a serious mistake.
I suspect that the accomplice... I'm sure you know what...
Speak quickly! Unless you want to earn yourself a one...
We were supposed to place...
And now that your plan has... Therefore, you would be...
Yes, our boss. It can also be made. We've been in this...
And now he can no longer...
Such ruthlessness.
An outrageous. All present, please submit to inspection immediately.
So, we're just going back now? That's...
Traveler, Paimon, please wait.
Lenny.
I know you may not want to speak to me right, but still. Let me thank you again for defending me to the end. Even after you learned that I'm a member of... I guess. I didn't approach you with any... As for why I'm... That was how Father, who you might know as the...
A knave?
That's right. And back when our parents fought to survive, I took my sister, to my surprise, before long.
So you went from...
That was how we felt it for... But he would constantly...
That doesn't seem...
After I waited a long... The answer he gave me...
Oh no.
As far as outsiders are concerned, this is a relationship I managed to ferret out all I saw was...
So...
That's right. Father, the House of the Hearth, well, I was hesitant to... But she was also...
Oh... So that's how the...
She has gained permission...
So...
That's right. Today's case has all of us house members to us orphans.
So... From small...
It's all right. I just hope you can understand. If you should need anything at all in the future, feel free.
Bye, Lenny!
Come on, let's get moving. We're not frozen in place,